Good day, everybody.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to episode 11 of the Good Day podcast.
Love number 11.
We have been a week off. Well, a week off from podcasting, and we're sorry. We missed you guys. I don't know. It's just been a busy time. We've been traveling around and adventuring. It's been fun, but we're here now.
So much fun. Who knew you could be so busy with fun?
Yeah, I know. It's just been, I don't know, we've been traveling a bit, and the day we left our last house sit was the day we were supposed to record. We usually, I don't know, we've been getting into patterns of recording on Sundays here, but we are back, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, so we have probably a big episode, but you're going to want to stay tuned. And I just wanted to clarify from last time. Oh, and we're not videotaping this one just because it's just too much.
We haven't even got the last episode videotaped. Well, we did, but that'll be on YouTube soon.
We'll have to get into a good routine with that one, with videotaping. But last time I mentioned that the Airbnb host walked in on me when I had no pants on, and I just want to clarify that I only didn't have pants on while I was like chilling in the blanket, but it was because Corey had all my luggage in the car on the ferry. I just did not make that obvious for you guys to listen and hear, and you probably thought I was really weird, but no, I just had the clothes that I traveled in. So normally I would have switched into some comfy leggings, but I didn't have any. So there you have it.
I'm glad we got that cleared up. I'm sure everyone was worried that why.
I know, they probably thought I was so weird.
Oh yes, but our last house that we did a little bit talking when we were already there, but we really loved those dogs, or one dog, Ruby, and then the cat, Brooklyn.
Loved them.
Yeah,
oh
that dog was like one of the most cuddly dogs I've ever been around in my life.
100%. She would get her whole neck into the cuddle. Like, we will post pictures of it, but she would, every time she came over to cuddle with you, she would just instantly throw herself into the most comfortable cuddling posture where her neck was kinked over and she was really cuddling.
Absolutely adorable. It was just like, and when we walked in, it was like she already loved us from the get-go. So that was awesome. I've never had a dog that wanted to be cuddled like that. Like Salty back home, he likes to be pat, but he doesn't like to be cuddled.
Yeah. And I loved their moms because we had a group chat, and I would just like, they just were so friendly that I would constantly send them pictures and like chat with them. So
yeah, they were super friendly, and
yeah.
I think we like kind of low-key became friends.
Yeah.
Through Maxie, like talking to them a bunch.
And they gave us a great review.
Yeah, we love. So our resume on Trusted House Sitters now is pretty elite. I think we've done 6 house days.
Maybe 6. No, I think maybe 7.
Maybe 7 now, and we all have 5-star reviews on every single one. So it's been really nice that like we got the first like good reviews in, and yeah, it's been good. Like we're really happy with that. So our next house that we have lined up is all the way over in Busselton, the Margaret River area, Western Australia.
Yep.
Just about 2 hours south of Perth. So what we're doing now, we're getting out there. It's going to take some time, but we're taking some time doing it.
We are on a road trip, and what we spent a lot of time doing when we were dog sitting for Ruby and cat sitting for Brooklyn was going to the store called Kings and other 4x4 accessory stores, because we are fulfilling Corey's big dreams of the rooftop tent, and we got it.
We got a great rooftop tent. There was like a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace and stuff, but I don't know, sleeping, it's just like a house. And my thought process was like, if you buy this rooftop tent, you're going to save money on like Airbnbs throughout, like if we were to just try and stay at Airbnbs. And also, there's no place to stay on the Nullarbor. Like, we're going to have to be in our tent going across the Nullarbor.
Tell them what that is. You might have already in a different...
Alright, so basically the Nullarbor is a stretch that goes from South Australia to Western Australia, where there's basically nothing. It's just emptiness, like basically the Wild West of Australia, and there's nothing for miles. And it's kind of known for being like a straight road that just goes on forever. But I really think there's only about 90 or 100 miles without making a turn. Like it's a pretty cool spot. There's a national park, and it's just like everything. Whenever we tell anybody we're going out west, down in Australia, they're like, "Oh, watch out for the Nullarbor." And we didn't really know what like the big deal was, but I guess it's just like a vast remoteness area where there's nothing. I think there's like like in my head I picture like 400 kilometers in between gas stations and like just absolutely nothing, straight roads and nothingness, just desert outback.
The red dirt roads. 90 miles of straight, says the sign on Google.
Yeah, so we have a rooftop tent now, and we did a little bit of testing in it. We worked out the kinks. We got a bunch of Kmart stuff. So we got like, after getting the rooftop tent, we're like, all right, let's go full camp mode. Kmart send. Let's go get some pots and pans, some cooking utensils, and
pull out drawers to get organized.
Drawers. So our car is now like a house. We're living out of our car.
Yeah, but like not in a dirty backpacker way, but like in an organized, we're gonna survive with everything in our car, thrive. Yeah, and it's pretty awesome. I love our rooftop tent.
It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, I like the hard top, so it's always just very sleek and
looks good. Yeah, feels good.
The rain can hit the hard top when we're driving, and it's not gonna like get inside.
Yeah, and so we're pretty much all set. We got like a camp kitchen done. We got chairs. We got our the car came with an awning, but we've only used it once. Setting it up was a little tricky because it was like low key broken, and we jerry rigged it to make it a little bit fixed. So.
Also, Corey and I set up the rooftop tent ourselves on the side of the road outside of the store that we got it at, which was fun. Yeah,
so the salesperson who was sold us the tent was like, yeah, we can't, like, because we didn't have any, like, tools or anything. So we went to the Home Depot of Australia called Bunnings, yeah. And just got a little toolkit and setting it. And he was like, oh yeah, you can't set it up in this parking lot just because it's like a liability, but you can just toss it on your roof, strap it down, go half mile down the road. There's like a park, and you could set it up there. And so that's exactly what we did. So we spent like 2 hours just setting it up.
It might have been longer.
Yeah, it was a while. Like basically it's a pretty simple setup where you just put the rooftop tent on. It has brackets, and then you put the brackets that attach to your roof rack, and then screw them in. But the hard part is you have no angle to screw all the screws in, so you're like jamming your wrist and only doing like quarter turns each time. So it takes ages to actually put the thing on. But we got it done. And
yeah, very straightforward instructions, but very hard in practicality.
Yeah, it was a weird setup. I don't know. Like, I guess it's secure. I mean, we did a good job putting it on and everything, but
yeah.
And then the salesperson, after we just finished, it was like 5:00. He drove by us and he's like, "Yeah, it's looking good, guys."
Yeah, how embarrassing.
I know.
But he was so nice. But yeah, we worked out the kinks. We went to Phillip Island, and that's outside of Melbourne. And we camped there for 2 nights, and we realized, what did we find out? What were the kinks we had to work out?
Some things that we got propane at a camping store, or what I thought was propane. We got a smaller bottle.
And we went to go cook with it, and we realized that it was a completely empty bottle that we paid for.
Yeah, so I didn't really know the weight difference, but I guess it was it was empty. And I was like, who sells you an empty propane bottle? But luckily all these like places that we're staying at all have like camp kitchens, facilities. They're actually pretty nice and pretty cheap too. They're only like $20 a night.
And at Kmart, I thought I was buying us like nice 100% cotton pillowcases, but what I bought was one cotton big square pillowcase, and instead of 2 rectangular pillowcases. So Corey had to sleep without a pillowcase the first night, but then we got pillowcases the next day and returned that one.
Yeah, the square pillowcase was pretty funny. Like, I've never seen a massive pillowcase like that. And it looked
Yeah.
like it was, I don't know, whatever. It
And
was
then
funny.
the batteries. I don't know if you want to touch on that.
Oh, what was the batteries? I
The
forget.
car
Oh,
died.
yeah. So, we also got a refrigerator that runs off our second car battery. And so the mechanics who put in, or like, yeah, who sold us the battery, didn't set it up to be properly functioning. So, and there was another guy who was like, oh, yeah, this is your, like, the guy at King's was like, yeah, because I was asking about it and how to set it up. And he's like, yeah, this battery is your secondary battery, and this is the one that is for the car. And so I was like, all right, I'll wire it so the fridge is wired to the second battery. That way, like, the fridge can run off that battery and the car can still run off the first battery. And I wired it up. Fridge worked fine. Everything was freezing cold, real good. And I didn't even leave the second battery running. Like, I didn't leave the fridge running all night just because we didn't really have any stuff in it. And the next morning, I go to turn on the car and click, click, dead. Battery dead. I'm like, oh my God, what the heck is going on here? And I'm like, all right, my boat battery's always dead. We just got to go get a charger and, like, or have someone jump our car. And I was like, maybe this guy was wrong. Maybe he told me, like, the batteries were switched. So I unwired everything and then just took the auxiliary battery and just didn't connect it to the fridge. I was like, all right, maybe the two batteries will, like, charge each other. And I was looking through, like, the manual of the Prado and didn't really have anything on the dual battery because it's kind of like a jerry-rigged setup. And just let it, like, 10 minutes go by, tried the car again, fired right up. So basically what that told me was the dude told me the wrong battery was the secondary battery. And so I switched it over. We went to, like, a mechanic shop because I also noticed there was no coolant in the car. And I was like, all right, got to go get coolant. Why did the dude who sold us the car didn't give us any coolant in the car? What else is hidden underlying problems? But everything was really good. And the guys at the auto body place, or, like, I don't know what's the place called, like, car shop.
Yeah, it was an auto shop.
Yeah, they tested the batteries. Like, oh yeah, just wire it to this one, you'll be good. Both these batteries are super strong. They're fine. Redid everything, and then last night was the first night, or 2 nights ago was the first night I let the fridge run all night, and voila, works like a gem. So we're good. The battery setup is good. I have trust in it. I love the dual battery. It's amazing.
Good. Yeah, so a funny thing about Phillip Island is I guess it's known for its community of little penguins, and if you guys have been following along, you know that we've been in plenty of places with these little penguins that are only found in this area of the world. And Corey and I have not gotten to see them, so we had like a little like we're laughing because I guess Corey chose between Phillip Island and the Mornington Peninsula for camping, and he chose Phillip Island because why did you choose Phillip Island?
The penguin colony, or the penguin parade.
Oh, he says penguin. It's so annoying.
Okay,
But
well, no. This is how it actually happened. I was like, Maxie, where do you want to go camping to, like, test out our setup? And she's like, oh yeah, let's go to Phillip Island. They have penguins there.
penguins.
And I was like, yeah, all right, let's do it. We'll do there. And I was like, in my head, Maxie wanted to go to Phillip Island for this penguin parade. And, like, lo and behold, we get there. And she's like, oh my God, they have penguins here? No way. And we're sitting in the campsite, or, like, in the tent, getting ready to go to sleep. And she was like, wait, there's a parade of them? What's going on? And I was like, Maxie, we're here to see the penguins.
So yeah, miscommunication because I didn't even know about the penguin parade. I think I told Corey that there was penguins like down here outside of Melbourne, but I didn't know that there was like literally a parade where they come marching in and you could buy tickets and like
And it was awesome to see them.
Yeah, we went and it was amazing, but it was so funny because Corey's like, we literally came here and not to the other Mornington Peninsula place because you wanted to see the penguins. But Yeah, they were amazing. They're so cute. They're like 2 pounds.
Yeah, like only like a foot tall. They're just, and they, so we went and saw the show, or the penguin
They're not
parade.
even a foot tall. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're really small. We went and saw the show, and it was just a big, like, massive building. And you walk down like this boardwalk. It's like you got to get there at like when it's getting dark. Oh, I had a couple great jokes to like the staff there, like. So it was the time change, daylight savings, and I asked the guy, "Do the penguins like have trouble adjusting to the daylight savings time?" Every single person I said that to laughed. Such a great joke.
Well, I'm actually annoyed right now because I said that to you first.
No.
And no, yes, I did.
No way.
Yes, I did. Corey has this thing where I say really funny things to him, or I'll like say like, "Oh, it'd be so funny if I said a joke about this to this person," and then he'll later go and do the joke like it's an original from his brain. He does this to me all the time. And
No, I swear that was
No,
me.
I definitely asked, and I was like, do they change their time because the daylight savings? I remember asking this in the car to you.
No.
And he pulled this joke.
Oh.
No, I came up with it.
Fine.
It's okay. It's normal for you to steal my jokes and then become like the expert on saying that redundant joke to everyone. It's okay. You're funnier.
I told everybody the joke that was my original joke, and they all loved it. All the staff thought it was so funny. No, because I told this to the guy.
Yes, you did.
At the Nobbies.
Yes,
first.
I know you did. Because I asked you in the car about it.
Okay, fine.
I know. It's okay. You're a better performer. It comes out better from your mouth to the public. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're a good team.
We are a good team.
I'm the brains.
Yeah, but so you get there before dark, and you let dark set in, and like this was actually the first place. It was very touristy, so you know what that means. I'm not gonna say it. You know the type of tourists. They were Asian.
No, yeah, they had at the Penguin Place they had
their own instructions. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes. So they do the instructions in English, and then they put on this giant recording of, like, it's very, very loud on a huge, like, speaker that they place on the ground, and it's just in one of the Chinese languages, probably Mandarin.
Yeah, that was the first time I've heard it. And then basically they were saying, don't stand up so other people can't see. Because it was like kind of like a stadium seating. There was like...
You're sitting in literally the dark because they come out when it's dark.
Yeah.
So if someone stands, boom, your vision's gone.
Yeah.
Let alone, like, you could barely see when everyone's sitting.
Yeah, and there's like one pathway they come through. There's like a little channel that they all, like, they run from the beachfront. Like, they waddle over, and then they stand in this one area because they're like, all right, cool, we're safe. Time to go into our homes. And lo and behold, the one group of people in front of us,
all
standing.
Yes, and they had the best view too. They were the closest to the penguins, the lowest to the ground. Everyone else was higher. It's like mini stadium seats.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just kept standing, their whole family. And actually we had probably better seats before, but then the workers told us to move over. And, like, technically they were giving us a better view by moving over. But no, we were sitting right behind the family that kept standing.
And then, thankfully, the person who was next to us that we had a really good rapport with went over there and was like, can you please sit down?
Yes.
People behind you can't see. And then after she put them in their place.
Before she did that, I yelled, sit!
Yeah,
and she was laughing.
Yeah. So it was us and her working together to get better views. And then after that, it was funny because, like, it was like a 50-minute show, and then they turn off the lights, or like they basically stop coming in, or all of them come in within the first 20 minutes. But it was like kind of drizzling, and then after 20 minutes, people like started leaving.
No, the workers say like you can go walk along the boardwalk and follow the penguins to their homes, like do whatever you want after 20 minutes. So luckily that family left to go get a different view, and we took their seats.
Yeah, and we got some great views.
Fantastic seats. I do not know why they were standing.
Yeah,
that was
crazy.
The best view.
And all the little penguins are just after they get in, they just stand there and relax because they swim like 80% of the day and then sleep just for the night, or like they swim all day and then just like getting food and stuff, and then they come back in and sleep at night. So it was really cool to see those penguins. I love them. I love those little guys. Definitely a new animal of the 2 weeks.
Yeah, and listeners, please write into Corey via text or voicemail or audio message or Instagram DM and tell him how to pronounce penguins correctly.
Penguins.
He says penguins!
Yeah.
He's not even from Long Island.
That was really fun to see those little guys, and it was nice to test out our camping site or stuff before going. So we had to go for this whole year. We've been here 3 months or whatever. We have left stuff in Sydney, my bike and some clothes that like we were like just traveling to New Zealand to Tassie, and then we were like, all right, eventually we'll get our stuff, and that day has come. We have got it. It was a hassle getting it, but we did it, and
now we have more clothes to choose from.
Yeah, we definitely have more outfits. I think I'm going to give everything away because I've been so stressed out about how much stuff we have in the car. Like, I don't know, Marshall, you might not fit when you get here, but we'll have to do some reorganizing. But getting there...
Pack light, Marshall.
Yeah, getting there was such a hassle because we looked at so many flights to get to Sydney and back to Melbourne, or Sydney back to Hobart. We've just been looking so much just when we were in Tassie. When we were looking around, we're like, oh, there's 2 airports in Melbourne. We got to make sure we get back to the same one. So I think they pulled, what is it called? Like
a bait and switch?
Mandela effect.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Or where it's like Berenstain Bears and Berenstain Bears.
Where you thought something. Yeah.
That's
it was
exactly
the Mandela
what
effect.
it was.
Because we literally booked from the same airport, and then when we went to check in for our flight, we're like, why is this one
from the other airport? Yeah.
So we're like, oh god, we have to like cancel it and like change it to the other airport. Do we have to pay more? Like, this always like happens.
Yeah, it's all just it. So we had to park at the airport we were getting back to.
Yeah, we found a different solution that was still paying more money.
Yeah. Take an Uber to the other airport, which is an hour away. How can you have 2 airports in a city that are hours away? Beyond me.
I think it was more than an hour away.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, we Ubered from the parking lot of
Melbourne Airport to the other one's called Avalon Airport. So we left from Avalon Airport, and the guy driving us there was like, yeah, nobody ever leaves from this airport. Flight was delayed. Obviously, every single flight in the world is delayed now. Who? Why? Why is this happening?
Yeah, we were like, and the return flight was at like 7 a.m. delayed. But anyways, so...
The flight there, we took Jetstar, which is basically a Frontier or Spirit airline in Australia. And how was it? What do you think?
I honestly had such anxiety. I'm a pro traveler by now, and I was like, I need some CBD gummies or something because this flight is just shaking mid-flight. And it wasn't turbulence. I don't mind turbulence. That's so weird about me, but I don't mind it. What I did mind was the plane was just going steady, and it was just shaking in mid-flight. I didn't like it, and they had to keep us in the air longer because they couldn't land yet. Yeah.
It felt like he landed like one wheel first, then slammed the other wheel down, and then like slammed the front of the plane down, and then we were like going back and forth, like swerving on the landing strip or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think I overlooked all of that because I was just happy to finally be on the ground in that plane.
Yeah, we were there. We did good, and we packed really light to get to Sydney just because we were like bringing all of our stuff back. So we immediately went from the airport to get dinner with Cam and Sam, and our Uber driver dropped us off just not in the right location.
Yeah,
like,
people just like don't do their jobs.
Yeah, like he's like, oh yeah, the airport's like, or the restaurant you guys are going to is like here, and we're like, where? And he's like, oh yeah, in over here. And we're like, okay, I guess we'll find it. It should be easy. Then we walked for like 20 minutes trying to find the place, and it was just like, Cam had to come find us like on the street.
Yeah, and Corey had a kangaroo burger.
Yeah, it was a little gamey. I don't know, kangaroo. I kind of wanted to try it. I don't know if I'd get it again. I kind of like beef. I mean,
yeah,
maybe I'll try it a different way. It wasn't as good, but it was cool, I guess.
No, that's probably the best way to try it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was fun. And then, we went home to our Airbnb, and that was another, like, shared Airbnb sitch with the host, but you have your own bathroom, thank God. very clean and fine, but the hosts were so talkative. We were like trying to exit the conversation for and we didn't even need to like interact with them to get to our room. Like we just walk in from the outside. But when we arrived, they like took us through.
Yeah.
And they held us captive talking for so long, but they were funny.
I know, they were funny people. And like, I don't know, after this, like, we were pretty tired from traveling, and then like our social battery was running low after the long day, so we were like, all right, let's get on with this. But after the conversation, we were like thinking back on it, and we were like, so the Airbnb's host name was Glenn, and we forget the lady's name. Allison. And we were like, wait, did they say Australians brought good food to America? We were like,
yeah,
that's what they believed. Like, they're like, finally, America's got some good food, some good cafes, some Australian cafes and stuff.
Nah.
And during the moment, we didn't really realize they said this.
No, I did. I just like didn't want to fight with them.
Yeah, we were like, these people are delusional.
Yeah, so Australian food is like fine, but it's not.
I'd say
they were saying they brought taste to America. We have all the immigrants who bring so many different tastes in America. The food is so good in the U.S.
Yeah, they have like British food, and now they were even saying like, oh yeah, we have that like new Asian fusion that since they have.
Yeah, he acknowledged that like their food actually wasn't good in the same statement that he was saying that they brought taste to America. He was like, yeah, we come from the British cuisine, which is disgusting and like is tomatoes and beans, and we were like, yeah, that's still kind of how your food is. But anyways,
yeah, it was funny just talking to them, and he was kind of like a nerdy vibe, but he was funny, and she was pretty funny too.
Yeah, she was telling us that she didn't get let into the Mona in Hobart, that museum that we hated. There was an all girls only area, and they refused to let her in because they thought she was a man. So we're having a laugh over that.
Yeah, that was that was pretty funny. And just also when we were leaving them, like, I don't know what the deal is. Everybody loves, again, we're touching on this topic, again, American politics. Like,
yeah.
Like, I feel like if we were to go to someone random in America and be like, blah, 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 like, good thing, I think the guy was saying, like, all the good Americans are coming over here now that the next election is coming up. And we're like, okay, yeah, sure. But, like, imagine saying that to somebody in America.
Yeah, I feel like just Americans have more respect to, like, keep that private and not judge someone on their
political views, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, here it's just, like, they demand to know what your view is just because, like, that's all they get on their news or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
They just love talking about it and thinking they have an opinion. Anyways, the next morning, we got coffee with my old friend Christian Engelbrecht. I missed him so much. He is, like, just the happiest Australian guy, and we had so much fun with him. And he so kindly offered to help us get our bags, which is, like, a huge struggle for us because we overpack so much. We have the big bike bag.
The bike is such a big bag.
When we did have our bags and we were going from house sit to, like, Airbnb to whatever, we were
just Uber
XLing, and that's expensive, and especially the area that we had our bags in is like over the bridge, over the harbor bridge, and it's like a bunch of tolls and like long distances and traffic to travel, so like these Ubers were expensive.
Yeah, and Christian was so nice. He was just like, oh yeah, I'll take my brother's car. He's got a big trunk and we'll send it over there. And his brother had a sick car. It was like a late 90s or early 90s Land Cruiser manual. It was all tricked out with like
dinosaur string lights hanging.
Yeah, it was just a classic Aussie car.
There was an emu egg in there, or an ostrich egg.
Yeah, fishing poles just like hanging in the car. It was cool, and we were really grateful that he did this because it was like an hour both ways. So
yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah, and after that we
went to the peanut butter bar, which was right near our Airbnb, like basically beneath it, and
like such a great idea. We love peanut butter, and
the concept of the restaurant was peanut butter in everything, like peanut butter in your wing sauce, like your not buffalo, but your wings, chicken and like peanut butter dressing on salads and peanut butter desserts galore. Corey decided that he was just
feeling
gonna.
Hungry.
I don't even think we exercised this day. Oh well, we did take
Just a walk.
very long walks. And Corey just decided he was gonna order everything on the menu, basically.
I just wanted an order of wings. Like, I thought it was gonna be the option were half kilo and full kilo, and I'm like, I'll get the smaller option. It's probably just like a dozen wings, maybe. It was like 20 wings. It was so many. And then I also got a burger.
A giant full side of fries. He didn't want the.
I didn't want the small side.
Yeah.
But it was a little. I don't want peanut butter
and
anymore.
You got an ice cream cookie sandwich.
It was a dessert place. I had to get a dessert.
Yeah, he ate so
I was in a food
much,
coma
and
after
he
that.
hates peanut butter now, I think.
I was struggling. Definitely struggling after that.
But I love the concept of the restaurant, but I think I would just go for dessert next time if I'm in the mood for peanut butter, because it's just like too much to be eating peanut butter and like your appetizer, your meal, your dessert, your drinks.
I was sick of the taste.
The taste.
Yeah.
And then we flew the next morning back to Melbourne to start the Great Ocean Road.
Yeah, so we got back nicely. Our car was all set up. It was easy. We had to completely unpack our car and reorganize it. Like, so there was like a free airport waiting area, and we still had this. I was trying to sell the third row seats. I might be admitting to a crime here. I didn't do anything. I just left the seats in the parking lot, and I wrote free on them so someone can take them. You know, I didn't dump them there. I left them there for somebody to take. So we unloaded all our car, reorganized it. It is a little stressful how much stuff we have, but I think I'm going to donate some stuff to charity. I don't really need that many clothes.
Someone will be rocking the DJ King Lobster's long sleeve in Australia.
That'd be cool to see in just like a random thrift store and someone picks it up. Imagine.
Your dad should ship some down to us so we could
populate the DJ King Lobster's t-shirt down here. That was cool. And so our car's all set up for camping now.
Our first stop was Lorne.
Yeah, that was the start of the Great Ocean Road. And it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. Like,
oh, I loved it. I thought it was going to be like a remote little beach town. No, it was like, it was
popping. It wasn't.
So
it was just
cute.
A classic small Australian coastal town.
It was just so
nice.
Cute. Like, all the stores were so cute. All the coffee shops. The beach was so nice. The surfers everywhere. It was nice. It wasn't like desolate and remote. It was adorable.
Yeah, and we, like, the stars aligned because the same weekend we were there, our friend Johny, who we met and we've talked about before, our only friend down here, was going to be in town with another guy, Sammy, who we talked about, who had the snake encounter before.
We met him in Torquay.
Yeah, they were all going to be down there surfing this one break called Cathedral Rock for the whole weekend. So we're like, yeah, let's meet up with them, and we ended up going to the pub with them, having dinner, having some drinks, and
we met some more of Sammy's friends.
Some iconic guy named Lumpy.
Lumpy was so funny.
So
Sammy's
Australian.
so funny, and we met a Kiwi named Olly, and we also knew Johny. So
yeah.
It was so much fun, and they were teaching us all about surf culture. I learned so much about surf culture.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of
hostile.
Yeah, it's like very localized, and like you got to do the right things in the water, respect, and like.
But if you're a local, you can like
cut the line up of people surfing for the waves. It's very strange. I'm sure like
it's not that you can; it's that you can get away with it and like fight with people in the parking lot after.
Yeah, there's like a hierarchy of like if you're a better surfer, like you can drop in on people or
if you're from there.
Yeah, so
and they start fighting in the water if they're mad at the tourists.
Yeah, it seems very different from like the chill surf vibe that like everyone describes. And they were like the funniest thing was like they were surfing the break, the Cathedral Rock, and there was Sammy was paddling out, and the guy was saying, oh, I guess it's all on Instagram nowadays. And
Yeah, this spot must be on Instagram.
yeah, and then Lumpy was saying, he's like, yeah, if someone starts yelling at me when I'm out there, I just paddle in.
Yeah, and Sammy was more like, I'll fight back with them, and Lumpy was like, I'll submit.
Yeah.
They were so cool. I love them.
Yeah, it was cool to have just like local, like Australian friends that grew up there or grew up in the area, and it was just cool talking to them. And
Yeah, we honestly learned so much, and we learned new words and phrases and stuff from hanging out with locals. I love it.
yeah, and we spent the next morning, we went and
Watch them surf.
watched them. Well, we saw them catch one wave because we got there so late from packing up and like
Yeah.
eating breakfast and getting coffee and stuff. But we went and hung out with them for the next day, so it's cool to have like local friends like that, I think.
Yeah, I was like, come visit us in Magnetic Island in August or September. And they were like, honestly, if we're not working, we're planning surf trips. In Magnetic
Yeah.
Island, you can't surf there. So, like, these guys are real surfers. They won't go anywhere if they can't surf.
And now, if I can't surf, what's it all about?
Exactly. But, Lumpy said something so funny. He was like, yeah, Lorne has really cool birds. And we were like, yeah, the cockatoos are everywhere. And he was like, yeah, the cockatoos run this town. It's like the mob or something.
Yeah, they
like,
love
the
cockatoos are everywhere.
Yeah, like the restaurants would have these bottles of water you could grab, spray bottles, and they would write on them cockatoo spray.
Cockatoo spray away.
Yeah, they're giant and they're beautiful, but they're everywhere.
Yeah, Maxie texted me when we were at our campsite. She's like, I'm being stalked. I'm like, I didn't see the picture she sent or the video. And I was like, what? There's like a guy over there? And it was just 3 cockatoos.
Yeah, they were coming in on me because we had groceries.
And we also learned some more wildlife. There was a wild koala like colony in the town over in Kennett River. And so we're like, oh, we gotta go check this out. And there's just one cafe, and it was like, all right, we'll park here, walk along. We didn't see anything. And we're like, all right, we'll drive up this one road. And what did we see?
Koalas.
Yes, we saw, 4?
Yeah.
Oh, they were pretty cool. Like, they're pretty big, too. They're like,
They're so cute in the wild. They're just chilling on these like skinny trees, and they're just big lumps sleeping, and they look so fat and disheveled. Like their hair is a mess, and their ears are all like the fluff around their ears are all messed up,
Yeah.
and they look at you with their big black noses, and they're just so cute in the wild. I don't know.
yeah, they are pretty adorable. They, their ears are so fluffy and funny looking. I wouldn't really want to get really close to one in the wild.
No, I think they're kind of mean,
Yeah, I think they're kind of sketchy.
and they have chlamydia.
Yeah, that's the thing. But it was really cool to see wild koalas. They were like just all like chilling in the trees. We only saw a couple, but I feel like if we drove down that road, we would have seen probably another dozen.
Yeah, I love them. We'll see more.
Yeah, definitely. And some Australian license plates, the South Australian license plates say like
The
South
koala
Australia,
state.
yeah, the koala state. So I wonder if there's more here than in anywhere else in Australia. But I feel like there's more in the north.
I couldn't tell you. I just feel like anywhere outside of cities
Yeah, that's where they are.
with the gum trees.
Yeah, so we were driving along the Great Ocean Road and just taking in all the views. There's massive surf, like huge waves everywhere, and we got to go down. Our goals were to see the 12 Apostles. They say it's best to see them at sunrise and sunset. So we kind of
Well, for the least amount of tourists.
and the best views, I think, right?
Yeah, probably the
Yeah.
prettiest lighting.
The best or so we kind of just were driving along and we're like, oh, this is perfect. We get to go right there at sunset. I wanted to stop at this campsite that had really good reviews called Princetown, I think, Princetown.
Princetown.
Yeah, and I call him up, and everyone was talking about it. He's like, yeah, that's such a good campsite. You got to stay there. It's the Princeton Reserve. And I call him up, and I get this voicemail. It's like, I'm sorry to tell you that due to circumstances out of our control, we will be shut down. I'm like, what is going on? What happened? And there was like reviews on the app, the WikiCamps app, that was like people yesterday were using this site, and someone told us, or I forget, I think on the Facebook page we finally found, was like, yeah, due to high waters, our temporary bridge is closed because it's too dangerous to cross. And we're like, temporary bridge? That already sounds sketchy with high waters. So we ended up traveling a little further, going by the 12 Apostles, stopping at Perfect Sunset, and camping in a town called Port Campbell.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What do you think of those 12 Apostles? I only counted 8, though.
Yeah, they fall. Well, they're these massive, what they are is these massive stacks of probably like sandstone, limestone, I don't know. Sandstone, yeah. And they're absolutely gorgeous. I love them. This is what Corey and I were going to go see 5 years ago, but we canceled our flight to Melbourne and just stayed longer in Brisbane with his old roommates. But they're stunning. You can't go down on the beach because, like, it's just erosion and stuff. They have a hard time building pathways down without it getting very dangerous.
Yeah, they're building a new viewpoint, which looks better. Kind of like, the viewpoint was average, I think. I mean, it was cool to see them all, but you couldn't see them all. I wish they're building something new so you can walk further out and get a better angle at them all.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool.
They're just beautiful. We'll post pictures. I'm really happy we got to see it twice.
Yeah, so we saw it at sunset, which was better than we went to like a sunrise.
Yeah, sunrise was cloudy and gray.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful with any lighting, so.
Yeah, and it was nice to see it in the morning too because there was nobody there. At night there was a bunch of people there. And
honestly, what I liked. Sorry, did I cut you off?
No, you're good.
What I liked better than the 12 Apostles was, like, all the other things that were made of sandstone, the rock formations. Like, there was something called the London Bridge and the Ard Gorge and
the grotto.
And a lot of these areas have closed off areas because the erosion is just getting so bad. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the walkways are getting dangerous. But Ard Gorge had the sickest viewpoints that were not even, like, the proper viewpoint. And the waves were crazy. Yeah, so to give you a little perspective, this area is just where Australia, it's like the end of the world. Australia meets the ocean, and then the landmass is Antarctica. And these waves are just, at least today, were just massive, like, Antarctic swells coming in. And not today. When we were there. And these bluffs are probably 100-foot high bluffs and just straight down to the water, straight down to the beach. And just these swells come in and just smash against the sandstone rock and send, like, waves skyrocketing up into the air. And some of them go, like, 100 feet high. Taller than the rock Taller mass. Than the bluffs, yeah. It is an amazing sight, and it's crazy, really, the contrast between just land. It goes from land to ocean, and these waves coming in from the Antarctic was quite beautiful. And it's so remote. Like, I'm so driven to, like, come into Australia with some hospitality industry, set up a ton of hotels in these remote, jaw-dropping, stunning areas, and just, like, they need something. It seems very underdeveloped, yeah. Yeah, like, I don't want to drive by and see it once. I want to stay there. And just watch it, yeah. And I don't think half of these are national parks or anything. I think they're just, like, the town sets up viewpoints and stuff. Yeah. Like, I think I could do it. Yeah, I think when there is a national park, I think Australia, like, was just, like, national park. No one can build here. But, like, there's some areas that are just so nice that aren't, and there's nothing there. Like, why doesn't someone put something here? Like, yeah. It just seems like there is... It's pretty desolate. Yeah, a lack of, like... It's very touristy, but there's a lack of, like, tourism industry. Even, like, the small towns, if, like, we stayed in Robe, which was our first place in South Australia. Just a small town, and then there's amazing viewpoints along the road. Yeah, we went on a run there. Yeah, it was really nice. And the town was super cute, but it's just, like, no other towns near it. So, like, all these normal people are living there, and they have their cute, normal cafes. And just, like, I don't understand how they live like that, because you drive, like... It's got to be an hour to the next town. Yeah, right outside the towns are just farms, and I don't know, maybe I just sound first world problems, but... Yeah. It's not like a remote town. It's like a cute town. Yeah. It's not a city either. There's, like, real nice coffee shops. Yeah. There's cafes. It just blows my mind. Like, nice, like shops that have
cool clothing and stuff like that. But I really liked Robe. I really liked Port Campbell, the place we stayed the night before near the 12 Apostles.
Oh, they had a pool at the caravan park.
Was that in Robe? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, in Robe, sorry.
Yeah, so Robe had... the kitchen facilities weren't as nice as the other ones. It was just like an outdoor kitchen. Like, all these places we're staying are like RV parks, so they have like a combination between like campers, just sites, powered sites, and unpowered sites. So you could, like, if you're staying there, you could either stay in like an actual like room, or you can just have like your site for your camper, or just unpowered site, and just for like us, like a pop-up tent or something like that. And most of them have, well, all of them have like nice shower facilities, bathroom, laundry. This one had a pool, which was cool. Maxie went swimming in the morning.
Heated.
Lovely, huh?
It felt kind of slimy, though. There
Lovely,
were kids
hey?
in there. Lovely, hey.
All Australians say hey.
Hey.
And there was a bike shop we went by called Bikes Hey.
Bikes, hey. A koala, hey. How good is that, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to really experience it, come visit.
Yeah.
Hey. But we drove through... Were you still talking about something?
No.
Okay. We drove through this town called Kingston SE. They're in South Australia, so Kingston SE SA. There must be another Kingston in this state or something that they had to label this one Kingston SE, Southeast. And Australian towns like to do these big things. So they have a big lobster.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a tourist attraction to get people to a town. There was a nice lighthouse there too, but for some reason, I think they're like a capital or a very popular lobster place.
Who knows?
But it was just this giant lobster.
We took pictures at it,
Yeah.
obviously. And then we made our way to Adelaide.
Yes, the drive to Adelaide was very nice, along a coastal road with like salt flats. We stopped at a pink lake that wasn't pink. Well, it was like...
Had a small tint to it.
Is there a pinkish hue?
A pinkish hue to the white.
Yeah. Like George.
Yeah.
Does she have a hue? How's the hue? Pinkish hue?
Pinkish hue. And then, so we booked an Airbnb in Adelaide on our drive over.
Yeah, well, first we booked an Airbnb.
And you had to request a book. The guy denied it.
Yeah, I've never been denied from Airbnb before, but I think the reasoning was, it wasn't us, it was him. That's like what they all
Yeah,
said.
I think it was too last minute for him or something, but he didn't write anything. But
Yeah.
then we booked an instant book Airbnb check-in at 3 p.m. It said
And
instant book. You didn't even have to request a book. Like, you just book it. And we weren't going to arrive until like around 4. And so we booked it around like maybe 2. And the guy messaged us and he's like, when are you going to get here? And do you need parking? And meanwhile, this was like a free parking Airbnb. And he's like, we're not ready yet. So we were like, yeah, we won't be there till 4, no worries. And he's like, no, but like, we're still not ready. Like, can you do something else in town?
Yeah.
So we explored Adelaide and we were like, that's kind of weird.
We kind of did all of Adelaide too.
Yeah, it's a very small city and we walked around it. It was a Sunday, so a lot of things were closed, but it was so busy.
Yeah, a lot of people out and about. I don't know. It was just a weird vibe there. Like, I think it was much more homeless people than the other cities we've been to, even though the other cities are much bigger.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Maybe because it was like so small that we saw them more often.
Yeah, and I like was getting anxious around. Like,
yeah, I felt kind of unsafe.
There was like a lot of large groups of people, and I don't know. People were fine and dandy, and nothing bad happened. But there was just definitely a sketchy feel to the area. That was only in like the one really, really popular area, but
yeah,
elsewhere was fine. It's a nice small city. Like, kind of reminds me. I don't know. It's much different. The city looks very nice on like the maps because
it's like a big grid,
a perfect
or
square.
A small grid.
Yeah, it's a perfect. The downtown is a perfect grid square surrounded by parks, like all green space. Which are like, oh, that looks lovely, and it was nice, small town. But when we booked the Airbnb, we would travel, like, we're exploring around for like probably 2 hours, and then we're like, all right, this is enough. We're gonna find another place. Like, we're tired. We drove 4 hours today. Let's just chill. We're gonna go get a hotel somewhere else. And as soon as I send that text to the Airbnb guy, he's like, no, it's ready.
Yeah, this was 3 hours after it was supposed to be ready for an instant booking Airbnb. 6 p.m.
6 p.m. And
so we were like, can we have a refund? And he's like, no, it's ready.
Yeah.
And we're like, nah, no. So
now we're in the process of trying to get a refund.
Yeah, he like won't give it to us. He keeps wanting us to cancel, so we get a fine, and he gets to keep his money.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he has to cancel because he had an inaccurate listing. It said check in at 3 p.m. We booked it before then, and it was an instant book, and he didn't have the place clean.
So we're at this beautiful place. Don't know how to pronounce the name. Glenelg, Glenelg.
No idea, but it's called the Stanford Grand Hotel, AdelaideGlenelg Beach.
Yeah, and it was nice.
There's a Ferris wheel, nice buildings outside, a boardwalk, a pier.
It is very cool, and this area reminds me of like a West Coast. There's like those nice pine trees, like has a piney smell to it, with a crystal clear water, nice beaches, some rolling hills in the background. It's a beautiful area, and I'm glad we stayed here tonight.
Yeah, I love it. And they have a later checkout time.
Yeah, 11 p.m. Lovely.
Yeah. But should we review the animals of the week?
We should definitely review the animals of the week. The animals this week were nothing until we hit like South Australia. And we saw, the koalas were pretty big. The animals we've seen this week start us off.
Well, obviously Ruby in Brooklyn.
Lovely animals.
Bunch of rabbits at the campsites.
This is a big one. I was shocked to see this next one. So we were just driving along like the scenic tourist route. They have like the signs. And there's like massive logging areas. And I looked to my right, and this was an area where it's been all logged out, so there's no trees or anything. And I see these tall, like, weird things. I'm like, what in the world is it? And we get closer, I'm like, oh my god, those are wild emus. I've never seen a wild emu before.
Yeah.
What'd you think of them?
I was shocked.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot more shocking things as we go down this list.
Yeah. Also, when I was driving in the same area, I see like this looks like a giant rugby ball on the side of the road, and it was moving. I was like, "Oh, I know what this is." And I was like, "Maxie, look! That's an echidna there, I think." And then, lo and behold, boom!
A giant one.
Giant echidna.
Giant spiky landmine.
Yeah.
Just to recap. Victoria again. We had the cockatoos and ducks and rosella birds and all these kind of birds, and then the wild koalas.
Koalas were cool.
And penguins, little penguins.
Penguins, yeah.
And then back to South Australia. I did some driving.
Yeah,
too.
Maxie drove a bunch.
Yeah, so saw a black wallaby hop off to the side of the road. That might have been still in Victoria. And then we saw some kangaroos.
You saw some in the field. I haven't seen them.
No, you saw kangaroos on like a hike.
Oh, yeah. No, when we saw the koalas, I saw a kangaroo.
Yeah. And then, there was a possum in a tree at our campsite in Lorne, actually.
I wish it was a koala.
Yeah, we thought it was a koala at first, but it was just a possum. And then Corey saw, black llamas or alpacas. Totally black.
These were like as dark as night. It was like looking at shadows. I don't know. There's like one color that like people can like paint their car or something, and it's like a darker shade of black than anything else. And that was the color of these llamas or alpacas.
Yeah, they look like shadows.
So crazy to see. And then we were driving yesterday.
This one might be the most shocking.
And I looked out and I'm like, oh, those are weird looking horses. And I looked again and I was like, those are camels. What are camels doing in South Australia?
A bunch of camels.
Yeah, so it was funny to see those guys and all the other animals of the past 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll get another podcast out. I think 1 week from now we will be in Esperance, or maybe the most beautiful beach in the world. Ranked number 1 is Lucky Bay. So hopefully we'll be out towards that way by then, because our next house sit is in 10 days. So hopefully by latest we have our next podcast out in 10 days.
Yes. So I would love if you guys gave us some feedback. We want to know your questions. We want to know what you liked hearing about.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback.
We would love any suggestions, like how's...
Let us know you listened,
Yeah, how's the sound? What do you want to know about what we're doing right now?
Who's a better storyteller?
Yeah. If we're getting better at this podcast thing.
Yeah, help us out.
Yeah, so we would love to hear what you guys think of the show so far. I would like to hear all the negative things.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or all the
Let
good
us
things
know
too.
how to improve.
Don't be soft on us. Like give us the hard truths, all right?
And just let us know if you're listening. We know you're out there. You guys randomly will throw it into conversation that you're a big listener. And we're like, that friend actually listens.
Yeah.
Cool. We have a much bigger audience than we thought we did. So let us know.
We love you guys for listening. And thank you so much.
We love you guys.
This is a very fun way for Max and I to remember this trip and to bring you guys along too.
Thank you for listening.
And we hope you all have a good day.
Have a good day.